Dude, I just got out to go to the bathroom and I got slapped in the face by this wind. Mother Nature just assaulted me. Hi, from New Mexico still. The wonderful thing about New Mexico is that you're allowed to stay at the rest areas for up to 24 hours. So on the days where you don't feel like driving or adventuring, you can just pull into a rest area and it's like you got a free hotel for the day. Actually, this is better than a hotel because it's 24 hours. Especially when the rest areas are beautiful and scenic. It's a very, very, very nice way to spend the day. However, the reason that I'm at a rest area right now is because my van is scaring me. I've been driving for a while now and I was just hyping Stevie up like, yeah girl, you did it. First trip out of state, we can go to the freaking moon together. And then she started doing weird shit. First, as I was driving, I started to lose power. And I can't really describe it because I know nothing about cars. I know one of my patrons who I sometimes talk to my van about probably knows what this is called. Jason, help me out here, friend. I was pushing on the gas because I noticed that I was, for some reason, going 65 when the speed limit was 75. Now, I'm not a speed racer, and in Stevie, it's literally impossible to be a speed racer. But I definitely am not someone to go 10 miles under the speed limit. And the more I pressed on the gas, the more nothing would happen. In fact, it seemed like I was going slower. I think I maxed out at like 55 miles an hour. So I was getting scared that my van was gonna die. My battery was fine. I could see the gauge right in front of me. It said that it was at full power, but for some reason I just could not speed up and I kept going slower and slower. So I don't know what was going on. I started to get scared. I started to look for places to pull over on the side of the highway just in case I had to call AAA, just in case my van completely quit. And then I noticed that I was like sweating buckets. I did notice that I was slowly getting hotter, but I thought that that was just because I was starting to get really anxious because I thought my car was gonna die. But then I was about to have a heat stroke. And that's when I realized my AC stopped working. So I'm driving this giant metal toaster on the New Mexico highway, just baking myself. I swear, I bet everyone in the area probably smelled the faint aroma of vanilla coming out of this big red oven. Now, usually I don't even use the AC in my van because it's really not that strong. This is an old van, it's okay. But New Mexico is super windy, as you can probably hear. In fact, I think this should be called the Windy City. So it's way too much to have my windows down on the highway. I literally cannot even breathe. So here I am, driving on the highway at 50 miles an hour, windows barely cracked so I don't suffocate, but on the inside of this big old greenhouse it's like 90 degrees, and I'm trying to just remain calm and get somewhere so this fucking day can just be over. Not to mention when it's windy and I'm driving my van at high speeds somewhere on the highway, it vibrates like crazy. I think it's the glass in the door panels, because it's mostly the doors that shake, but while I'm driving it just makes my whole van buzz. So I'm just like so not only am I going turtle pace, I'm baking alive, but I'm also inside of this giant vibrator trying to keep my van steady. It's extremely loud and uncomfortable. And my van is not like my RIP, my Sonic Chevy Vetter, who normally I could just drive with one hand and be fine. Stevie is very touchy. So I'm driving 10 and 2 the whole way like I'm 90 years old. And that's the thing against people who drive like that. It's just not fun to drive like that for an entire, I don't know, multiple hours at a time. I think the big thing is having an older van really fills me with anxiety. I mean, Stevie's older than me. We're just two 90s girls traveling the country, but Stevie is 6 years my senior. And I know that I'm probably fine most of the time. It just seems like there's so many things that can go wrong compared to my car. Because newer vehicles, they have a light for everything. And with Stevie, I just basically have to guess. The bright side of this is that, it's been character building. The dark side is that I have had way too many character building events happen lately. No more building. I don't want to build anymore. Anyway, I'm not one to sit around and complain all day. Okay, let's reel this in. There's always something to be thankful for, and I'm very thankful that Stevie made it to a rest area and that everything seems to be fine. I'm not sure if my AC is actually broken because when I stopped here, I tried to turn it on again and it did blow air out. So it might just be broken when I drive. But that's the one time I need it. Other than that, mostly everything seems to be fine. I mean, 2 out of 3 of my doors do not open from the outside, so that's kind of annoying. I mean, I'm thankful that I have Subway cookies. I do have a headache though, probably from the heat and the stress. But I also get headaches for literally any reason. Why does God give his strongest battles to his most beautiful soldiers? I would love to tell y'all that I have a plan, but honestly, I don't. Van life is not all sunshine and rainbows, as evidenced by this channel. Sometimes it sucks. I mean, sometimes it's the most wonderful thing on earth, but sometimes it just straight up stresses you out. The joys of being a highway woman.
Sometimes it's heaven, sometimes it's hell, sometimes I don't even know. Sometimes I take it as far as I can, sometimes I don't even go. My front tracks are heading for a cold water well, my back tracks are covered with snow. Sometimes it's heaven, sometimes it's hell, sometimes I don't even know.